We got the media team in here. We're the media
We're the
team.
media team. We got content. TV's in the go. We got TV in the go, Wack.
You looking for that fire Clubhouse content? Well, you need to subscribe to the home. Hey, yo, Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good one.
Spin the block.
Yo, the feds ain't playing fair.
Not at all.
Bro, trying to get a pass to go to his funeral. The feds turn around and expose you been having phone sex with another bitch. What the hell that had to do with anything?
Oh, damn.
Man,
That's
you
petty.
see that? I told you that.
That's petty.
Yeah, they exposed you and other people's phone time. Did they mention Rayshawn Williams in there?
Uh-oh. Yeah, they did.
Did they mention he lived with you, you killed him, and you didn't go to his funeral?
Yeah, they said you didn't even go to his funeral. Why would you go to your own son's? Listen, I don't.
Yo, we need to. How many pages is that shit, bro?
So let me see, 17.
Bro, we need to go through that. This is.
I got it. Y'all ping up and share the room. Y'all know where y'all at. Goodness. Hey, Wack, when was the funeral date?
I think it was supposed to be on the 21st. They was trying to do
21st.
because
That's what.
they held the body up. You know, dude, Muslim.
Oh wow.
Now they USA ain't going for none of that.
None of that.
Having phone sex with your girlfriend, Rayshawn Williams, lived until you killed him. You didn't go to his funeral.
No stature.
They saying all kind of crazy shit.
Had he been apprehended during that funeral? Or
Hey, USA, the feds.
Oh, they said that.
Yeah, we got to work. Yeah, Eddie Boy went down there and pulled to work. That's the DA in the feds.
Oh.
They don't call it a district attorney.
Damn, that's cold shit.
Feds play different, huh?
Way different.
It is a response, so they're just responding to what he filed to get out. So look at it how you want to look at it. They kind of responding. So yeah, bro. United States District Court for the District of California. Brief in support of detention for defendant Eugene Henley. This is filed 11/16/2025. So hot off the presses. United States Plaintiff versus Eugene Henley, aka Big U, aka Unk, aka Droz, aka Hannibal, aka Hannibal Muhammad, aka Anybody Killer, aka Dave Austin. Pay attention to that, aka Dave Austin. If you know, you know. Memorandum of Points and Authorities. Introduction. For a parent to have to bury a child is a tragedy that none should suffer. For a parent to miss that burial is yet another tragedy. Unfortunately, such is this case here. First, regardless of the circumstances, the factors set forth in the Bail Reform Act still apply. And here, defendant Eugene Henley Jr., also known as Big U, is charged with the murder of a young man. So right off the bat, they get into it. Also known as Big U, is charged with the murder of a young man who himself was buried by his parents, a funeral that defendant famously did not attend, despite knowing the victim his whole life, managing his music career, and paying for the trip that would be his last moments on earth. Amidst the other vast and sweeping allegations in this case, the Bail Reform Act continued to demand detention based on danger and risk of non-appearance. Second, defendant cites to a single district court case in which a court granted release in order to attend the funeral. This single instance, however, is believed by a standing number of cases in which courts have routinely, if not uniformly, denied requests to attend funerals. Ultimately, defendant's release for any amount of time creates far too great a risk to justice in this case and to human life. To human life? Defendants should remain detained for the safety of the community and the victims and witnesses to his crimes. In defendant's own words, and they quote, "If I would have had a problem with any man, the issue would have been resolved, and he wouldn't be here. or I wouldn't be here. And can't no one beef with me. Because if he do, I'ma kill him. Period. Point blank. I am going to murder. I'm going to murder him. So they use his own quotes against him. Defendant now knows. Oh, shit. Okay. Defendant now knows he had his discovery. Defendant now knows who has reported his crimes and may seek to make good on those threats. Those are risks this court cannot allow. So he has his discovery. It says here, defendant now knows who has reported his crimes and may seek to make good on those threats. Yo, they are taking no chances here.
Yes, sir.
They covering
Damn.
all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
They say he already. There's no way. They already know who's reported his crime. So that means that anyone that's already telling, they already got. It says defendant's crimes are famously contained in the criminal complaint and lengthy indictment. The government has also detailed the reasons for his continued detention in connection with the defendant's original bail determination. Thus, the government will not repeat here, but respectfully request they be incorporated by reference. This is where they get into his in-custody conduct. While in custody, defendant has demonstrated his unwillingness of inability to comply with conditions. Okay. In order to fully assess defendant's temporary leave requests, the government obtained and reviewed his phone communications in federal custody. These communications revealed a complete, if not wanton, disregard for the rules, willful attempts to evade discovery of those violations, and continued attempts to obfuscate and hide his comps. For example, defendant has utilized other inmates' BOP numbers, other pins, and accounts to complete hundreds of calls in violation of rules. So they got him on hundreds of calls utilizing somebody else's pen. In each of those calls, the inmate whose account defendant is using speaks first to verify their voice before handing the phone over to the defendant. So they already got him on that call. In at least half of those hundreds of calls, defendant then has the person he is calling add a third person via encrypted applications. Oh shit.
Bro, they're gonna show that he been talking to his informants that's telling on him,
Holy
telling them
shit.
in order for you to keep informing, you gotta pay me. Like this shit get wild, y'all.
Wait,
This
what
nigga,
the?
yeah, keep on, yeah.
Oh,
You gonna end
shit.
up going through this again. This is wild,
They
piss.
said over half the calls. Defendant instructs those callers only to ever use encrypted applications for such three-way calls and to utilize only those same applications when discussing any of his business. Whew. Defendant also instructs the callers not to greet him with traditional Islamic phrases because it may alert BOP that he is using other inmates' accounts. In each of those calls, the operating system states that the sharing of inmate numbers is a violation of BOP policies and that three-way calling is against BOP policy, and that both will be subject inmates to disciplinary proceedings, obviously. The content of those calls itself are also in violation of BOP policy, as the majority of the calls uses other inmate numbers or to an individual that the defendant refers to as his girlfriend. And there's a footnote here. It says defendant uses his own account almost exclusively to call his wife, while he uses other inmates' accounts to call his girlfriend or others. Oh, the Feds is on some shit. Okay. The Feds is on some shit. Oh, man. It says in each of those calls, the operating system states that the sharing of the inmate numbers is a violation, all right? The content of those calls itself are also in violation of BOP policy, as the majority of the calls uses other inmate numbers or to an individual identified that the defendant refers to as his girlfriend. In those calls, the defendant discusses how to thwart BOP mail policies so that the defendant can receive illicit photos of her while incarcerated, as well as hiding those photos in legal folders while simultaneously engaging in phone sex. Defendant and his girlfriend have also devised a scheme in which his girlfriend will sign up for a single paralegal class so that she can visit him in custody. subverting MDC rules that only allow for immediate family or legal visitations. Defendant also has discussed sending messages to his co-defendants. Defendant also has discussed sending messages to his co-defendants who are on pretrial supervision with orders not to contact co-defendants. A desire to enforce a rule that no one in the case be allowed to plead guilty unless defendant does. Wait. Let me back up a second here. They got evidence of this? He's pressing the co-defendants that they can't plead guilty? Let's break this down. Defendant also has discussed sending messages to his co-defendants who are on pretrial supervision with orders not to contact co-defendants. A desire to enforce a rule that no one in the case be allowed to plead guilty unless he does. Getting in touch with the confidential informant or snitch, according to the defendant in this case. Hiring and paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for a team of lawyers, investigators, and paralegals. The 43 federal charges against the defendant, the damning evidence against him, his dangerous history and characteristics, and the risk to numerous specific individuals and the community at large if he were to be released, all support his detention pending trial, and caution against even temporary release. The tragic circumstances that have arisen since his incarceration do not necessarily compel his release. It says the tragic circumstances that have arisen since his incarceration do not necessarily compel his release. So basically saying the fact that his son died, rest in peace, although it's a tragedy, do not basically compel his release due to his danger to the community and also to the witnesses already. And the confidential informant, it says here. So they got evidence of him pressing a confidential informant, contacting the codees, pressing the codees that they can't take a deal. They can't plead guilty unless he pleads guilty. That's a lot, bro. That's a lot. They got evidence of all of that.
He keep digging that hole deeper and deeper.
Yeah, but that's all coming from the jail calls, and that's all coming from the communications in the jail. That's crazy that he thought that he was gonna get away with that third party with the encrypted application shit. They said over half the calls, bro. And now they tell you what he been up to in there. They know all about it. But the key, though, you hear that key point? They said that he got discovery. He know all the confidential informants. He know all of that shit. So you can't let him out. Danger to everybody. Remember, he tried to go per and try to get his own lawyer. Say he was going to be his own lawyer. So now that he got all that discovery, now they ain't gonna let him out. Yeah, I ain't know all of this, bro. That's crazy. They got him pressing the witnesses, pressing the code Ds, saying they can't even take a deal, pressing the confidential informant. This is a lot, bro. And the murders in this paperwork too.
Yo, did you get to the part where it's charging the people that's cooperating against him?
Yeah, I seen that. That shit was crazy. Hold on. Want me to read it again?
Yeah.
I got you. Hold on. Read it again.
If they want to, and then some of his co-defendants, if they want to take a deal.
Oh yeah, that shit. Yeah, I just read that part.
With a plea, they got to pay.
That shit was crazy. Hold on. Let me get that part again.
Him. He locked up. What does that mean?
That shit was crazy.
What that mean? They not in to collect?
So you can't take a deal before me.
He trying to extort his co-defendants?
I think he extorted the co-defendants and the rats. Well, they gonna go over this. Hey, I'm sorry. They ain't showed us half the shit they got. This is crazy.
All right, here we go. It says the content of those calls itself are in violation of BOP policy, as the majority of those calls uses other inmate numbers or to an individual identified that defendant referred to as his girlfriend. In those calls, defendant discusses how to thwart BOP mail policies so that defendant can receive illicit photos of her while incarcerated, as well as hiding those photos in legal folders while simultaneously engaging in phone sex. Defendant and his girlfriend have also devised a scheme in which his girlfriend will sign up for a single paralegal class so that she can visit him in custody, subverting MDC rules that only allow for immediate family or legal visitations. Defendant also has discussed sending messages to his co-defendants who are on pretrial supervision with orders not to contact co-defendants, a desire to enforce a rule that no one in the case be allowed to plead guilty unless he does. Getting in touch with the confidential informant or snitch according to in this case, hiring and paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for a team of lawyers, investigators, and paralegals, despite defending current retainment of 2 CJA-funded attorneys and otherwise coded communications. So he having them pay for a lawyer when he has already a funded lawyer.
Wait up. So no, I think you missing it. He got the people sending money for a lawyer, but he still got a public defender.
Right.
Did you catch that?
Right. 2 CJA-funded lawyers. Right. He already got a funded attorney. So
Yeah, he already got. So they intercepted his phone calls.
right.
Where he got people dropping off money.
Oh shit.
You follow it?
I follow it. Oh shit.
He got people dropping off money for an attorney that
Don't exist.
That don't exist.
That's dirty gang. That's...
Wow.
Yo, you see that part where they already said he got all this discovery? They already know all the witnesses against him. Ooh, that's bad.
Yo, reread that shit. Is that the final? That was it?
Yeah, that was the last part. The next part is just the legal standard where they talk about the Bail Reform Act, and it's like a little legal mumbo jumbo. And they talk about how he should remain incarcerated due to a risk to the community. The 43 federal charges against the defendant, so he got 43 Fed charges. The damning evidence against him, his dangerous history and characteristics, and the risk for specific individuals and the community at large if he were to release, all support his detention pending trial and caution against even temporary release. The tragic circumstances that have arisen since his incarceration do not necessarily compel his release.
Did they mention Rayshawn Williams in there yet?
Yeah, in the beginning they did.
What they
go back to it. They said, let me get to it. Okay, they said, for a parent to have buried a child is a tragedy that none should suffer. For a parent to miss that burial is yet another tragedy. Unfortunately, such is the case here. First, regardless of the circumstances, the factors set forth in the Bail Reform Act still apply. And here, defendant Eugene Henley Jr., also known as Big U, is charged with the murder of a young man who himself was buried by his parents, a funeral that defendant famously did not attend, despite knowing the victim his whole life, managed his music career, and paying for the trip that would be his last moments on earth. Amidst the other vast and sweeping allegations in this case, the Bail Reform Act continues to demand detention based on danger and risk of non-appearance.
They saying you didn't go to Rayshawn Williams' funeral, and you was free for that. They threw that. They was shooting a dagger on that,
bro.
Cold peace.
Yeah, they say that you know him his whole life, and you manage his music career, and you pay for the trip that would be his last moments on earth. Ooh, man. You see this next part here where it says, ultimately his release for any amount of time creates far too great a risk to justice in this case and to human life.
Yeah, so the judge got a rule. Like, was this filed the other day?
The date on it is 11/16, I believe. Give me 1 second. Yeah, 11/16.
Oh, God damn. I was working on a Sunday. So that just got in front of the judge today.
Damn. Yeah, the hearing date was November 17th at 1:30.
So, okay, so we should see something tomorrow.
Yeah, probably the DACA should move tomorrow. If not tonight. What time is it? 9:45. Yep. I'll check tonight.
So he talking on a regular jailhouse phone?
Yeah. They got having phone sex with his girlfriend. His wife
crazy.
Going crazy as a mother. I know his wife is losing her mind.
I got it. He had a prelim for 11-12 at 2025 in Victorville. 11-12 was what, 5 days ago?
Yep.
That was a prelim, and then he got another prelim. His prelim was set for 11-14. That was what, 3 days ago. So that's his prelim.
When they say prelim, what you mean for trial?
Preliminary is where that's his last time where he can basically find out all the evidence against him.
Gotcha. So they didn't gave him everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
So trial date ain't been set, or they gonna give him
It'll be after the prelim. That's where like the cop will testify basically all the evidence they got against him. That arresting officer, whoever the detective is, they'll bring the evidence, and then that's like right before it goes to trial. Have that last hearing on if it'll come in or not. To my understanding.
So he got another court date set then? Because both of them then came and went.
Yeah, we're gonna have to re-pull. This was from the last time we pulled it on him.
Yeah, that's crazy. Squeezing niggas still.
He telling them the deal, you gotta pay me.
Period.
That shit crazy as a month.
The fact that he
That's
think he already got that's Cody's, it make no damn sense. You think the Cody wasn't gonna tell him?
And bro, some of them just cool. You know what? That's letting him know that they cooperating like a mother.
That's what I'm saying. He got to discover. Don't forget, he said he pressed a confidential informant in that paperwork too.
What?
They don't just say which one.
So they saying he pressing it.
Yeah, well, this ain't been sentenced yet, so they really about to be.
Oh, they gonna
That guy's gonna be.
He around to get another superseded indictment on top of all of this shit.
Did it to himself.
Talking crazy on the Fed phone. Wow. I don't get that one right there.
But you see, that's where the way I'm trying to burn that whole Muslim card too. Because remember, they say in the paperwork that he told everybody not to even don't agree with anything Islamic, so they don't burn whatever they was using with that whole shit. They don't burn that whole network up. Because now you gotta look. That's a whole nother conspiracy where you pressing co-defendants and everything like that. So you using the pen, you pressing the confidential informers. Niggas really agreed to that. That's a different conversation. That's a whole car you just burned. Now more on conspiracy now. You want to really talk about it? Talk about it.
Yeah, you just put yourself in some more shit. You already in some deep shit.
But see, that's another thing too. Keep it G. Just getting in contact with your Codys in a case like that is a no-no. And you're gonna get in contact with the Cody, press the Cody that they can't take a deal, then have the Cody pay for your lawyer that don't exist. So that's extortion on top of that, witness tampering on top of that. Like what?
And the informant. So that's
on top of that. You don't think a superseded indictment gonna come?
No, he about to get some more locked up.
And he ain't got a paid lawyer.
Yeah, but he got everybody sending him money for the paid lawyer that he don't got.
That nigga still scamming his folk.
That nigga still crazy.
They ever said who the girlfriend was? I'm being messy.
Last I remember, they had 44 pages of hard evidence, 26,000 pages of wiretaps. And I'm sure between the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, he done gave him some more shit for by the way it looked. It sounds to me like he's trying to make contact with the Codys, and even, I guess he see who some of the snitches are.
Exactly.
And he's contacting them saying they gotta pay.
Right.
But if you know even if the name is redacted, he still can see the situation and know who it is. You see what I'm saying? So he's going out his way. He called himself making a 3-way call on another nigga's phone line and then got them making a three-way call to somebody else, probably via WhatsApp or something like that, encrypted app. But you fell in and realized they already informing on you.
It's crazy. But he not understand, I think, Joe, especially if they got code words, they listen to all them conversations. I'm sure that's why they only in 15-minute increments.
They listen to everything.
Damn.
Yeah, you know what? You right.
It's crazy, man.
This nigga out his mind.
Just to want to have that much control over people, like, that's crazy. That's a walking bigger than a program.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Another thing too, rest in peace, but it's a tragedy. But if that didn't happen, then the feds would have just let him hang himself. Would have kept listening on that phone the whole time. They chose to do it right now. They got enough on them right now to do it. Makes sense? They already got you pressed.
They about to deny that.
Oh yeah, they got you pressing the informants already. They got all of that. But they onto the play, and they told you they onto your play. So
you're pressing the informants. The crazy part, if you're making calls, any of his codees, they can, some of them niggas on the streets on house arrest.
Oh.
With the ankle monitor. They can snatch them niggas right up.
If they situation, yup.
So with that being said, you think the codees already tipped them off, or they had already listened before they said anything?
I think they already approached the codees, let the code know what they know, and them codees and straight cooperated.
Right.
You got one of them in there saying that he's trying to extort the code. He's trying to extort one of the informants.
Clubhouse TV. Clubhouse TV.
What's going down, YouTube? It's Clubhouse TV. You already know we back with another one. And I certainly appreciate y'all checking back in and checking out the content. And today, this one right here just shook the whole West Coast and the courtroom. Because Wack 100 done doubled back and dropped the paperwork connected to BigU right at the same time. Federal officials are arguing that BigU is too much of a safety risk to even step outside of the prison walls. But BigU's team is pushing for a temporary release so he can attend his son Baby UIE's funeral. This one's getting serious, y'all. Emotional, political, all wrapped up in one. Now, first off, Wack goes on live and says, y'all keep acting like I'm lying. Here's the paperwork, and boom, he drops the documents that he claims shows cooperation, safety assessments, and communications tied to BigU's past dealings. Now listen, whether you believe Wack or not, whether you ride with BigU or not, one thing is fact. Paperwork always causes chaos, and Wack knows paperwork talks louder than opinions. So when he dropped it, the whole internet froze. Because people saying he exposed something major, others saying he's reaching, but the paperwork is out there now. And now they're saying BigU is a safety concern, too much of a safety concern, that they're not trying to let him out to see his son, Baby UIEE, buried. They done got the man on the paperwork having phone sex with his girlfriend, saying that he uses his regular pen to call his wife and then uses the homie's phone to call his girlfriend. This is bananas. They also said he's pressing the people who's snitching. This is crazy, man. You talk about bigger than the program. BigU definitely think he's bigger than the program. But while the social media is going crazy over the paperwork we reading, the feds step in with their own filing, and they're basically saying BigU presents an ongoing danger, has major influence, and letting him out, even temporarily, poses safety risk to the public and to the operations, because now BigU has got his discovery and he know everybody who's telling on him. Even if the names are redacted, like Wack says, it still tells you the situation that happened to those individuals. So the person, Big U, of course, is going to know that situation because it's his situation. And he's going to know who that person was who he had dealing in that situation. This is crazy. Now, here's the human side, the sensitive side. Big U lost his son a few weeks ago. Baby UIEE passed away. The family's devastated, and Big U's telling the court, all I want is to attend my child's funeral. So Big U's attorney files an emergency motion saying he's willing to follow our restrictions. He'll accept armed escorts. He'll go straight to the funeral and straight back. No contact with anyone except immediate family. They're basically begging the court to give him a few hours to say goodbye to his son. And whether you rock with Big U and you can't stand him, that right there, that's human. That's fatherhood. But if you know who's in your discovery and those people could possibly be at that funeral, you don't want Big U pressing that person or trying to have them harmed. So the feds have to step in there and make sure that everybody's safety is made whereabout. Now here's where it gets wild. While Wack reads the paperwork at the same time, Big U's asking for compassion from the judge. People online asking, is Wack trying to block his release? Is he exposing something the feds already knew? Did he drop it now on purpose? And honestly, that's the exact type of tension Wack lives for. He doesn't pull punches. He doesn't wait for the right moment. He makes the moment. So now the streets, the courtroom, and the entire hip-hop world are watching two things. Will the judge show mercy and allow Big U to attend his son's funeral? Does Wack's paperwork change anything in how the court views Big U? My honest take, the judge is in a tough spot. Compassion versus caution. Humanity versus public safety concerns. And Wack, he just poured gasoline on an already blazing situation. So no matter where you stand, this is a heavy moment. A father lost a child, a rival dropped paperwork, the feds don't want to budge, and the streets are buzzing. But you was supposed to be taking care of Rayshawn Williams, and that man was unalive, and you didn't even attend his funeral. So they're saying, why should we be allowed to attend your own son's funeral? Now y'all let me know what y'all think about the content in the comments. Should Big U be granted temporary release or not? Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new content. Subscribe to the media team so you get that exclusive Wack 100 content. Any questions, concerns, need me to advertise for you on my channel with over 45,000 subscribers? Just get at me on IG and I'll get right back to you. As always, I certainly appreciate y'all checking out Clubhouse TV. On to the next one. Peace.